Okay, picture this. You step away from your desk, maybe just for a minute to grab a coffee. You come back, everything looks exactly the same, but it's too late. Your computer has been totally and completely compromised. And the really scary part, it all happened in seconds, with a device so small you would never ever notice it. This is the world of physical access hacking, and today we're going to dive into the surprisingly simple tool that makes it all happen.
Look, this isn't some plot from a spy movie. This is the reality of what's called physical access hacking. It's a world where just being close to a machine is way more powerful than any firewall. The attacker doesn't need to be some super hacker 1,000 miles away. They just need a single moment alone with your computer.
And the tool they use to do it? You might be thinking it's some exotic $1,000 piece of spy gear. Nope. It's this, the Raspberry Pi, a $25 computer that was originally designed for students and hobbyists to learn coding. But in the right hands, it becomes one of the most powerful hacking toolkits you can imagine. Today, we're going to break down exactly how.
All right, so first up in our hacker's Swiss Army knife is the most direct tool of them all, making the computer think the Pi is, well, you. This is all about impersonation, and it is devastatingly effective.
The secret sauce here is a piece of software called P4wnP1 A.L.O.A, which, and I love this, stands for a little offensive application. It basically turns the little Raspberry Pi into a digital chameleon. It gives it the superpower to pretend it's any USB device it wants to be.
So this sets the stage for what's known as a human interface device, or HID, attack. The Pi basically walks up to your computer's USB port and says, "Hey, don't worry about me, I'm just a keyboard." Your computer has no reason to doubt it, so it says, "Okay, cool," and accepts the connection. But instead of a person typing, the Pi unleashes a perfectly crafted script of commands at inhuman speeds.
And setting this all up is basically a three-step playbook, just like you see here. First, the attacker writes a script of all the commands they want to run. It's like a tiny evil computer program. Second, they choose the Pi's disguise, telling it to look like a simple keyboard. And third, this is the kicker, they set up a trigger. The moment that device gets plugged in, it automatically executes the entire script. It's instant and completely hands-off.
But the Pi's bag of tricks doesn't stop with a physical plug. I mean, what if the attacker can't get to your machine? Does that mean you're safe? Well, not exactly. They just switch tools and start mapping the invisible world of Wi-Fi networks that are all around us, all the time.
This technique is called wardriving, and yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're driving around, passively listening for Wi-Fi signals, and using a GPS to map where every single network is located. You're building a detailed intelligence map of an entire area's wireless footprint.
And of course, there are different tools for the job. You've got Kismet, which is like the industrial workhorse. It actively goes out and scans and logs absolutely everything it can find. And then there's the Pwnagotchi, and this thing is just wild. It passively listens for Wi-Fi handshakes. That's the little digital greeting that happens when your phone connects to a network. It uses a simple AI to get better at collecting them over time. And get this, it's gamified. The whole thing is designed to look and feel like one of those 90s Tamagotchi digital pets. It's a brilliant example of the creativity in this space.
You know, building one of these little rigs is surprisingly simple. You just need the Pi, a GPS module to know where you are, a special Wi-Fi dongle that can be put into what's called monitor mode, which just means it can listen to all the Wi-Fi traffic in the air, not just its own, and then the Kismet software to tie it all together. All of this stuff is cheap and easy to find, and this kind of intelligence gathering is often just step one before launching a much more serious attack.
Which brings us to the final and honestly the most sophisticated tool in this kit, achieving a persistent remote presence inside a network. This is the holy grail for an attacker. This is the ghost in the machine.
So here's the big challenge, right? Firewalls are designed to do one thing really, really well: block incoming connections from the outside world. So if you manage to hide a Raspberry Pi inside an office network, how do you actually connect to it from your laptop at home? You can't just knock on the digital front door. The firewall will slam it in your face.
Well, the solution is brilliantly sneaky. It's called a reverse SSH tunnel. Instead of the attacker trying to connect in, the hidden Raspberry Pi connects out. It phones home to a public server that the attacker controls. And because this is an outbound connection, something initiated from inside the network, the firewall usually just lets it pass right through without a second thought.
Let's just walk through how this works, because it's pretty clever. First, the Pi hidden inside the network calls home to the attacker's public server. That server accepts the call and just keeps the connection open, creating this secure, encrypted tunnel.
Then, the attacker connects to their own server from anywhere in the world. And finally, the server just forwards their connection right back down that open tunnel directly to the Pi. And just like that, they've completely bypassed the firewall.
And this is where it gets truly insidious. An attacker can gut an ordinary-looking power brick, hide a Pi inside of it, and just leave it plugged into the wall under a desk. It looks completely harmless, like a forgotten phone charger. But it's now a persistent backdoor into that entire network, controllable from anywhere on the planet.
So, we've seen how this little Pi can be a keyboard impersonator, a wireless mapper, and a hidden ghost. Each of these tools is powerful on its own, but you can also combine them, which is what makes this device so potent. So why does any of this matter to you? Simple. Because understanding the offense is the absolute key to building a strong defense.
So here are the crucial takeaways for you. Number 1, and this is the big one, physical access is total access. That single minute you leave your laptop unlocked at a coffee shop is all it takes. Second, be deeply, deeply suspicious of any unknown USB device. Don't plug it in. Third, unsecured public Wi-Fi is basically like shouting in a crowded room. Anyone who's listening can hear you. Now, the point of all this isn't to make you paranoid, it's to make you aware.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If a cheap $25 hobbyist computer can be turned into such a powerful multi-tool for hacking, what does that really mean for the security of all the other devices we trust blindly every single day? It really makes you think.